Subscribe for more.
I never thought a joke could end a marriage, but that is exactly what happened. My name is Daniel Harper, I am 43, and until last spring I believed my wife and I were solid. Not perfect, not exciting every day, but stable. The kind of marriage you build quietly, brick by brick, without posting about it online.
Claire and I had been together for 12 years, married for 9. We lived in a quiet neighborhood outside Bristol, close enough to the city, far enough to breathe. I worked in logistics, steady hours, decent pay. Claire worked in marketing, fast-paced, social, always surrounded by people. We were different, but for a long time, it worked. Things started shifting in small ways I ignored. Claire began going out more with her co-workers. Girls' nights became a weekly ritual, then twice a week. She would come home later than planned, smelling like perfume and wine, buzzing with stories I half listened to. I trusted her. Trust was something I took seriously. I never checked her phone. Never asked who would be there. I told myself that healthy couples give each other space. That is what secure men do, right? The distance crept in quietly. Conversations turned transactional. Did you pay the council tax? Did you feed the dog? I stopped being the person she vented to. When I tried to talk about us, she brushed it off, said I was overthinking. Said I was safe, dependable, not like the men her friends complained about. I did not realize then that safe was not a compliment anymore. It was a comparison. The night everything broke was a Friday. Claire had a girls' night planned at a wine bar downtown. She left wearing a dress I had not seen before. Tight, confident, unfamiliar. I joked that she looked like she was trying to impress someone. She laughed, kissed my cheek, said not everything was about me. That should have been my warning, but I stayed home, watched a match, went to bed early. She came back around midnight. I was still awake, scrolling on my phone. She was loud, loose, carried by alcohol and laughter that did not include me. She sat on the edge of the bed, kicked off her heels, and said, "You'll never guess what we talked about tonight." I asked what, casually. She rolled her eyes and said they were talking about relationships, about settling, about how some women marry men who are good on paper but not great in real life. I stayed quiet. Then she laughed and said, "I joked that if I had met a better man 5 years ago, I might have chosen differently." She said it like it was harmless. Like it was clever. Like it was something you say when you feel untouchable. I looked at her and waited for the punchline, for the reassurance that would make it land softly. It never came. She shrugged and added, "Relax, it was just a joke." Everyone laughed. Something in me went cold. Not angry. Clear. I asked her what I meant by better. She sighed, annoyed now, and said, "More ambitious. More exciting. Someone who makes me feel chosen, not just accommodated." I nodded. I did not raise my voice. I did not argue. I just said, "So you think you settled?" She hesitated for half a second, then said, "I think we both did."
That was the moment. Not the joke, not the whine, the certainty in her voice. I realized she had been rehearsing that line long before she said it to me. I slept on the sofa that night. In the morning, she acted normal, asked if I wanted coffee, talked about errands. The disconnect was unreal. It was like she had dropped a grenade and expected me to sweep up the shrapnel quietly.
I went to work and could not focus. The sentence kept replaying. Better man. Chosen. Settled. By the afternoon, I understood something painful and simple. You cannot unknow how someone truly sees you. Love does not survive contempt dressed as humor. I booked an appointment with a solicitor that same day. Not out of revenge, but out of self-respect. That evening, when Claire came home, I told her I had filed for divorce. She laughed at first, thought I was proving a point. When she saw the papers, her face changed. She said I was overreacting, that I was throwing away years over a joke. I told her jokes reveal truth when people feel safe enough to be honest. She accused me of being insecure, dramatic, fragile. I did not defend myself. I had already stepped out emotionally. The following weeks were messy. Her friends messaged me, said I misunderstood her, said she was emotional, said marriage takes effort. One of them, a man from her office named Oliver, messaged late one night asking if we could talk. I did not reply. I did not need confirmation. The joke had already done its job. Now I live alone in a smaller flat near the river. It is quieter. Lonelier sometimes. But honest. I sleep without wondering how I am being discussed when I am not in the room. I learned that disrespect often enters a relationship disguised as humor. And the moment you laugh it off, you teach people how to see you. I did not leave because of a joke. I left because I finally heard the truth behind it. People ask if I regret acting so quickly. I tell them clarity is not impulsive when it arrives after years of silence. Marriage should not feel like an audition you already failed. If someone jokes about replacing you, they have already imagined life without you. Walking away was not punishment. It was alignment. I chose dignity over denial, peace over performance, and truth over pretending, and that decision, painful as it was, finally felt like coming home to myself at last without apology ever.